Good morning, everybody. This is Eric coming from Kansas again. I've been a busy little bee, so I haven't been posting in a while again, so apologize for that. So been making lots of progress on our Mittleider gardening, and these are our two back beds that I've showed in some previous videos, but I just tried to make a video on the other one, but fortunately the video failed for some reason, so I lost it. But I'm up to this one now. This has got carrots in the first 10 feet, potatoes, yellow potatoes, in the next 15 feet or so, and then the last 5 feet is corn. And then the other one is a climbing bed, I'll go over in a little minute here. This one, and these cages, I'm not quite done with that. I gotta fill in this end here, but these cages I've been putting on some beds for some squirrel activity, I guess you'd say. Unfortunately, that we're having. It's torn up some of our plants, but constant battle for gardeners. So you can see some carrots coming in here. And I'll show you some more carrots later that are easier to see with this, without this cage in place. But had, okay germination rate in this 10-foot bed. So they're getting there. It's hard to see on these, but here's the potatoes. You can see some of the potatoes coming in here. I planted these potatoes on March 26th or 25th. It's April 27th today, so it's been about a month. So they're coming in nicely now. And there was quite at the end of March, between the end of March and now, there was definitely a couple weeks there was pretty cold. So we did a lot of planting there at the end of March, beginning of April, and then it got cold and things slowed down or didn't come out. We thought they might, but they're coming in now finally. And here's the corn coming in. It's been growing for about a week now, I think. This corn was planted actually a couple weeks ago, April 9th, maybe 3 weeks ago now. So it's coming in nicely, and most of them have popped up. I think one or two have not. And I'm still trying to figure out what these patches of soil are that are being popped up. I don't have any dirt in my bed, so something's pushing dirt up to the surface. I don't know if it's a worm or something else, but it's interesting. And got these irrigation pipes here. I'll show you those in a minute. This bed is our climbing bed. It's got green beans in the first 20 feet, and then the last 10 feet of the 30 feet is tomatoes. And I'm still working on getting these baling twine tied in here to climb on. Baling twine is 170-pound twine that I got from a Tractor Supply type store in the area. Germination rate in this bed has been maybe 50 to 75%. But we planted some different seeds in the next 10 feet. They've had some better germination rate, but we're getting there. They're popping up, and you'll see some of these have some leaves that don't look so hot. And yesterday morning was a pretty cold morning. It got into the 30s, unfortunately. And some of these guys fared pretty well, and some of them did not, unfortunately. But I think these guys are trying to push out some adult leaves now, so they might be a little bit stunted in growth for a little bit. And had a lot better germination rate in this bed. So, and these climbing twines, so I've got them tied on I think it's like a 16 or 17 gauge aluminum wire here that's attached with screws on these posts, and just tied on here. And after you tie it on here and tighten it up, it gets a little more taut. And then what you do is for every plant you alternate. One twine goes to this side, and the other one goes to this side, so you can see they kind of create a V. And it's supposed to allow, when the sun's overhead, it's supposed to allow the sunlight to get to both plants, or allow to get to more leaves of each plant better when it's the height of the growing season. So we'll see how that works. And here's our tomatoes. We put these in about the same time as these. No, a little bit later after these were put in. I think we put these green beans in April 9 or April 11, something like that. That's the last average frost day around here. And then these tomato plants we put in maybe a week after that or two. And it was such a nice day. I think it was Wednesday last week is when we did that. So that would have been like the 16th or 17th, the 20th, I think. Yeah, 20th of April. And then right after that, there was 2 days of 20 plus mile an hour winds, and these guys did not like it. But I think they all survived. Plus, we had that mid 30-degree weather last night. Not last night, but the night before. And I think this one is the most in question, but I think it's got some leaves coming out. New leaves coming out, so he might get there. But anyway. And these are two different types. These are beefsteaks and San Marzano, I believe. Both indeterminate types that climb, or that like to climb. So I don't know which one's which right now because I kind of mixed up after we transplanted them into here. So typical. We'll get better at tracking that later on, but we'll see how that goes. San Marzano is supposed to be kind of like a Roma tomato, and the beefsteak is the big round ones. So that's the climbing bed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to irrigate this bed. I don't have this bed on a timer yet, so I have to come out here and turn the water on for a couple minutes. So I'm going to go down here. And so all these beds up here and this 30-foot bed are on timers. I don't have enough solenoids yet to get the other one on, so I just have to turn this one on. So we'll do that, and we'll go a couple minutes here till about 8:15. Hear the water running, hopefully. So we got these irrigation pipes here. That's just scheduled 43/4-inch pipe, and we have 3 holes drilled every 4 inches with a number 57 drill bit. So pretty small drill bit, easy to break, so you gotta be careful with them. But it's a pretty tedious process to get the lines drawn and measured out every 4 inches. You measure 2 inches from the end, and then for every 4 inches. And there's 90 holes per 10-foot length, so there's a total of 270 irrigation holes in these 3 10-foot pipes, which is a lot of drilling. But it's just a mind-numbing process, and I just listen to podcasts or news while I'm doing it, so it's not too bad. Something to do in the meantime when during the winter time, I guess, if you have extra time in between growing seasons. So just watering this, so instead of having to come here with a hose and water it down like that by hand, it's pretty handy, especially when you have it on a timer. It does all automatically, and it's pretty handy. So and you can see this is offset a little bit from the center, because the climbing plants, per the Mittleider method, are supposed to be grown only on one side of the bed, and then they grow up each side, so they still get, they still kind of use the whole bed in terms of sunlight, but use the rest of the bed for the irrigation and to fertilize. So anyway, yeah, about time to end this irrigation, and I usually do 2 times a day for 2 minutes each. I guess I'm just kind of guessing at this point. Don't want to water it a whole lot. Just trying to keep the bed moist, keep the soil moist. Don't want to go crazy. And I come out here around lunchtime or a little after that, I do that again. So hope that helps you out there and made sense. I'll show you more what's going on here. So in this bed we got more yellow potatoes. So we got, I think, 40 yellow potatoes that I planted up there, seed potatoes, and I planted 32 in here, 4 rows of 8. Planted some around first part of April, and then I planted the rest of them in here a week or 2 later, so the rest of them aren't popping up quite yet. I think I have 1 beet plant here actually too. I might let that go. So those are all popping up nicely. I'm not sure why these are a lighter color of leaf than those up there, but we'll see how that goes. In this bed here, last year we had our potatoes in this bed. This year I made it all carrots. We eat a lot of carrots, so I have this bed full of carrots, 10 foot, another 10 foot full of carrots up there, and then I think 4 feet in this bed right here full of carrots. So you can see some coming in here. I think these are the best ones so far. These seeds were from Texas Ready, heirloom seeds. These seeds over here were bought at Home Depot, and they were a couple of year old seeds, so I guess the germination rate isn't as good after they get so old, which I'm seeing with those. Anyway, these, you can see some adult leaves are coming here finally. These I planted about a month ago as well, into March 25th or 26th. It's April 27 now. Let's see, in this bed, these 2 plants right here are spinach plants that were planted last year in August, and they made it through 2 sub-zero temperature spells. Of course, we had a hoop house over this to protect them, but they just flabbergasted they made it through. Spinach, I guess, is actually a hardy plant, like they say. So, and so are onions. Those bigger onions made it through as well, those 2 cold spells. The rest of these spinach plants are seedlings for the most part that I transplanted. Planted the seedlings in February, or seeds in some flats over there, those planting flats inside. Planted them outside in mid-March, and had some problems with squirrels also with these, but I think the squirrels are leaving them alone now. There's more stuff to eat outside. This is arugula. Planted this arugula at the same time as the spinach seedlings, and you can see arugula is a lot more prolific. I already harvested quite a bit off of this one and quite a bit off of these spinach plants this past weekend. And let's see here. Yeah, carrots here. I told you about those. These are onions. These were planted in August last year, and they're really taking off now, and it's warmer outside again. These guys down here, they're smaller. They're coming in pretty good now. They were planted as seeds inside in mid-February and planted in mid-March out here, like the spinach and arugula. Had some other onions here that are planted as seeds, and they're even smaller because they're just starting to come in now. Germination rate hasn't been that great. I think these are also some seeds I bought at Home Depot a couple of years ago, so not that great germination rate anymore, unfortunately. And here's some peas that I also planted as seeds in mid-February and planted outside in mid-March. And I had to keep the squirrels off of these as well. Had that cage down there on that planter over these for a while until they got big enough to where it didn't really matter if some squirrels came by and ate a few leaves. So it's the first time I'm planting peas, so looking forward to seeing what's going on there. And I already got some flowers here, which is nice. And here, the rest of this, most of the rest of it is corn. So I think got 5 rows of corn here, spaced 8 inches apart. That should be coming up here in another few days, I'm hoping. And over there is a pepper plant that got mauled by something, unfortunately, just after I planted it. And right there is a onion that started growing in our pantry. And so we were like, well, let's just put it out here and see what it does. So, always experimenting also. Down here, we have another bed that I just got done making this past weekend with our boys. Gonna plant some squash plants and some watermelon here, and we'll see how that goes. Got those planted as seeds. They haven't popped up yet though, so we'll see. Well, hopefully they'll pop up soon, and then we'll plant them in here. Just got done. This is if you haven't seen it in our videos, this soil mixture is peat moss and sand with a little bit of perlite mixed in. That's the white particles. And it's very easy to work with. Plants can easily grow. Root plants can easily grow roots, root food in them, carrots and potatoes, and then, the roots for other types of plants can easily grow down to the existing soil and get more nutrients if they need it. But yeah, that's this bed. Had to terrace it a little bit lengthwise due to I didn't have enough dirt to have this high enough over here. So anyway, I'll give more updates on that bed here in a little while. And over here, we've got our other bed with beets and radishes in here. I just got done watering this one also. See the radishes. Planted these radishes, I think, in first part of April, and already done fertilizing radishes. The growing season for radishes is so short; you only fertilize them twice with the Mittleider method. So I'm done with that. See, the adult leaves are coming pretty good now. Planted them every inch, I believe. So we should have a good crop of those. Right there is our sweet potato slips that we've been growing inside. And hopefully it'll all work out timing-wise that these will be done, and I'll put those in here in about another few weeks. And you can see the beets. I planted the beets here in late March, and it's April 27 now, and they're coming in pretty good. You see a lot of adult leaves. So that is an update of our Mittleider gardening. Sorry, I had to move. There was a blower. You can probably still hear it. Somebody just had to come and mow the lawn across our street early in the morning. Anyway, that's all I got for today with Mittleider gardening update. Hope you learned something there or got something out of it. We'll provide some more updates here soon, and also got some updates on our solar system as well that I'll be putting out soon. So until then, grace and peace be with you. Bye for now.